It's going to get to a point, and it actually is already getting to a point where these videos are going to be so common that I might as well just start naming them, numbers of like the type of video that I made. And you're not going to believe it, but once again, a VTuber has outed themselves as being a piece of shit. And this seems to happen so often that I might just start, doing 1, 2, 3, 4 as a title name, just so we can get a tracker of how many of these I've found over the days, over the months, over the years. So my entire awareness is, of this current quote here, this like, subtweet where this is not the person I'm going to be talking about. Okay. So don't attack this person. Don't hate on this person. But basically, I just saw this tweet that she said the fact that there's a VTuber going viral for being transphobic and racist right now is crazy. They just quote retweeted this too. Go for real said trans women aren't women and also said fuck Indians. And like, this is quote retweeting this women's march thing that just says trans women are women, period. And this is from 3 months ago now, 4 months ago almost at this point. And so I was, interested. Like, I wonder who they're talking about. And so we're talking about this VTuber right here, this Fire Miari person, Fire Miari. I don't know how to say that word. But anyway, we're talking about this person right here, this VTuber. And this is a tweet that she made that kind of threw into the limelight, of everyone getting mad at her and like her being, there, which is responding to this tweet from legitimately 4 months ago, just saying absolutely not. Women have periods, women carry children, women have fought for rights for the longest time. Stop playing pretend and shitting on the natural born women. I'm so over this. Not a single person in the entire universe asked for your opinion on this tweet from 4 months ago. You could have just stayed silent and not said, this bullshittery that you said. But of course, this person obviously is being a dumbass. And like the funny thing about these always tweets, like women carry children. Like, what about the women who are infertile? They're, I guess, not women. Women have periods. What if someone is born intersex and like they actually don't have any ovaries? Can they not be women? These are always like a fun angle where like they try to like say like the idea of like natural born women when human biology is legitimately anything but natural. And there's some bullshittery that always happens that you can always just find a base case to call them stupid. And so obviously people got mad at her and she did what every type of person like this does, and she doubled down. And so this is, her kind of like firing into the atmosphere and trying to clear the neighborhood of, I guess, like, people she doesn't like. Where she just says, I think the time has finally come after staying in fear of cancel culture. I just don't care anymore. It's the internet. It needs to stop being taken so seriously. So time to filter my followers and surround myself with like-minded people. Goodbye, but also welcome. There are two genders. Transgender is a mental illness. White lives matter too. No such thing as equality. Each gender has their pros and cons and should be paid according to their time and effort. Fuck India. Men are valid. I love men. Gays are okay. One good take there, I guess. Deport illegals. A country has a right to refuse to protect their people. Sorry if your views and mine don't align and you choose to unfollow me. I understand and say it's okay to not agree on topics. I want those with similar views around me. So goodbye to those and good luck in your lives and welcome to any new folks. I hope you like it here. Once again, who asked for you to say any of this? What the fuck? Why do you like this? Just, obviously the most like basic a right-wing grifter takes. I don't know what the fuck India did, by the way, to take a shot here, but I guess she just hates India too. Had to have racism in there too. I guess like she didn't really consider White Lives Matter also racism, but so she had to say I need the racism in here too, or else my entire grift is gonna be falling apart. And so like obviously that's insanity. No such thing as equality. This is just one of the stupidest takes of all time. What the fuck do you what do you mean? Each gender has their pros and cons. What? This doesn't make any sense and should be paid according to their time and effort. So I guess this is an attempt to say the gender pay gap is not the thing or whatever. But like, what the fuck do you mean? This is your justification for why there's no such thing as equality. That doesn't make any sense to me. But this is just like a massive illogical spew of just like, hey guys, I'm a grifter. Please follow me. Let me wave my flag. And obviously, once again, her trying to clear out, I guess, any sort of people who may disagree with this because that's kind of her thing. And I guess like she had to get one woke point here, which saying gays are okay. And so obviously after her airing out of like her trying to filter her community, people got a lot of people got mad at her. Is what I'm trying to say. Which says it's very fascinating that we live in a time now that just because we have different views / beliefs, friendships break apart. I remember so many years ago, two people with two completely different viewpoints still going to have a drink or game together and still be friends. Oh, how it's all changed. Thanks, social media. Now, buddy, I'm gonna I'm gonna look at you in the eyes when I say this, guys. I don't want to touch you because you stink. The different viewpoints are like economic viewpoints. If you have different ideas on taxation, like we can talk about like that, we can litigate this. But when like you're saying transgender is mental illness, there are only two genders. Fuck India. Like those are not, I guess, compromisable viewpoints. You cannot make a compromise in the middle there. because like you are sacrificing the well-being and rights of people in this scenario. So like the idea of having different viewpoints is just like, I think taxation should be different. I think we should have a different tax structure. Like that's fine. We can talk about like how the economy, and you can disagree with the economic makeup the entire time. This is not stuff you can really compromise. Like these are taking away the rights of people. So they kind of like say how just all this like terrible shit and then go, woe is me. How do I lose friends over this? You're just stupid if you are, not understanding the underlying issue here, which, obviously look at her take. She is stupid. But like it's just crazy. So then I did kind of like background review of this person's account, just looking at her Twitter and stuff. Shocker, just sad that Twitter is getting banned because I think she's Australian from what I've seen on her account. And this, saying Australia reported looking at trying to ban X in all countries due to Grok's image generation. And this is kind of around the time where like people were using Grok to like take the clothes off of young children. So like I don't know why she's like so sad about this when like Grok is like a child pornography production machine at this time of the day. And then like I saw her retweet Tectone, which was like probably one of the least shocking things of all time. Just because, once again, if you look at her takes and also just look at Tectone, who once again is found liable in a civil court for being a sexual assaulter. Just letting you know that now. Just letting that be out there. Once again, I always have to repeat it whenever I talk about him. Not surprising to see this type of takes coming out of someone who supports Tectone. And this was kind of a funny thing that like is situational irony. They should teach irony like this in the schools. Well, apparently at one point her account got hacked and it became like Fox News. And all I could find is that this kind of like happened right before she kind of shifted to this right wing grifting bullshittery. So dramatic irony at this point. What did the hacker know that we didn't know about this Fire Miari? Jesus, what a name. So I think I kind of found like the main reason for why she might be pivoting into this right wing grift. It's not been like going well as a career. Now I'm not saying everyone who falls off is going to immediately right wing grift, but like this is kind of a prescriptive reason for why we can see that she's kind of being more brazen and more loud with her right wing grifting is because it is not looking too hot. It is not looking like it once was for our beloved friend here. And so, like, once again, it's just like, why does this keep on happening? Why does it always just happen like randomly? Like maybe it's like every 2 weeks. It's bi-weekly occurrence. Every 2 weeks, not twice a week. Where you're like, I see a random VTuber who said, "What if I come out and say how much of a bigger piece of shit I am?" And then, that's just kind of wacky. It's kind of weird. It's just crazy that like they really want to be a piece of shit and like expose themselves as being a piece of shit. Which I guess it's good that they expose themselves to be a piece of shit this often because once again, like then we obviously know that they're a bad person, then we should stop watching their stuff. So like it's fine that they do it, but like it's unfortunate just the constant occurrence that it happens. And it's always interesting to me how like people who just like come out like this and say a bunch of like right wing grifty bullshit, then also go out and say, well, what happened to just being nice to each other? What happened to having different views? It's like you just said a bunch of people shouldn't have rights basically, and also fuck India, which like like what? And you're expecting people to be courteous and nice to you. That doesn't really make any sense to me in any way. But these people are like illogical and like it's kind of hard. It's like people dedicate their entire life to trying to understand the way they think and the way they act. So I guess any sort of attempt to understand the inner machinations of their mind are just futile. And only the best of us can do it, but not me. So, just wanted to talk about it again. Once again, might need to start numbering these as just the way to signify that I'm going to talk about a VTuber. It's crazy, especially once again in the VTubing community, which is like very gay and all that stuff. So, whatever. I'll be on the lookout for another one just to bring them into the public square by their neck and say, hey guys, look at this idiot. So. That's it, really. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.